So you've arrived at the West as a settler in the late 1960s, ready to start your new life. But wait, you're broke and don't have anything to eat? Well, get up and get a job so you can fuel the economy and continue the ideology of manifest destiny. Unfortunately, there are some jobs that most likely will get you killed, be it from the excruciatingly dangerous tasks that they make you do or the unjust working conditions. But it looks like you've got no other choice, as without a job, you'll be forced to live off of absolutely nothing. No, being a donkey puncher did not mean that you punched stubborn four-legged animals. The steam donkey, or donkey engine, was a machine which consisted of a steam boiler and steam engine and was used for the purpose of dragging logs from the forest to the mill or landing. The donkey puncher is the name which is given to the steam donkey's operator and engineer, who was constantly in danger as donkeys had a habit of suddenly exploding, starting forest fires, or flinging heavy cables through the air. This deadly practice ended in the 1930s as modern gasoline and diesel engines replaced the need for steam donkeys. Back when cannonballs and grape shots were the most common in the Navy, gunpowder was a trend among naval weaponry. During sea battles, the powder monkeys would hand carry small amounts of gunpowder between the ship's storage hold and its cannons. Although it may seem like a safer job than actually being the one fighting other people, marksmen on enemy ships would shoot at the powder monkeys as they raced back and forth, meaning that powder monkeys had to be small, sturdy, and agile. And that's why boys as young as 6 years of age were hired as powder monkeys, despite there being regulations in the 19th century that did not allow boys younger than 13 to join the Navy. Fortunately, by World War I, the Navy became more strict about keeping underage sailors from joining crews, and the need for a powder monkey was diminished when sailboard elevators were introduced to deliver shells to guns. This was yet another industry dominated by children, namely young boys, because of how small and agile they were. This meant that master chimney sweeps would often kidnap their apprentices from orphanages or pay off their parents in order to have dirt-cheap labor. When a child first began to climb chimneys, his elbows and knees would be badly scraped with every climb and would bleed profusely. So many master sweepers would harden the child's elbows and knees by standing the child next to a fire and scraping his knees and elbows with a brush dipped in brine. This was extremely painful. When on the job, a child could die through suffocation, burns, or from long falls down the chimney, as if the chimney sweep slipped even a little. Death was most likely the result. If a child was stuck in the chimney, some master sweeps would actually, I kid you not, light a fire underneath the child in order to scare it into moving around. The Pony Express lasted only about roughly 1 year, between April 1860 and October 1861, before becoming useless due to the popularity of the telegraph. But within that year, 6 Pony Express riders died because of drowning, hypothermia, or even tripping over an oxen lying on the road. But it wasn't the Pony Express riders who had the most dangerous job. It was the stock keepers and employees who worked at the relief stations. Most stations were located in extremely secluded places, meaning they were very vulnerable to attacks and Native American ambushes. Native Americans reportedly attacked or burned several relief stations during the Pyramid Lake War in the summer of 1860, killing as many as 16 stock keepers, in contrast to the Pony Express rider death count being only 6. Nonetheless, working in the Pony Express was a hard and dangerous job, no matter your job position, if it was riding a horse, sending letters, or protecting yourself from a mob of angry Native Americans. Working as a coal miner introduces you to a lot of new ways to die, including leaks of poisonous gases such as hydrogen sulfide or explosive natural gases, dust explosions, collapsing of mine stopes, mining-induced earthquakes, flooding, general mechanical errors from improperly used or malfunctioning mining equipment, or use of improper explosives underground. Mistakes were bound to happen, and the fact that miners could be up to 1,500 feet into the earth with no light source except for a small candle which miners had to supply for themselves made the job that much harder. Thus, there have been over 26 mining accidents during the Wild West alone. Not only do coal miners experience the possibility of potentially dying on the job, they also have to get the chance of getting respiratory diseases like the black lung disease. This disease occurs when coal dust accumulates in the lungs and is unable to be removed by the body, leading to inflammation, fibrosis, and necrosis in lung tissue, and the black lung disease happens even today, with over 25,000 deaths each year.